Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. And with me today is John McTavish from the Style Studio. How you doing, John?
Good man. I'd say I'm having a pretty lovely evening. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just wrapping up these last couple of review recaps before we head out to PCA. Obviously, this will publish before the PCA starts. So,
Oh, nice. It's
yeah,
kind of a nice lead in.
the day of the seminar day, I
Oh,
think is when
sweet.
this will publish. So, yeah. So speaking of the cigar that we're talking about today, we are talking about the lovely, ain't they lovely, Elegante X2. The cigar is a Toro 6x52, comes out of the Tacasa factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers from Ecuador, the binders from Mexico, and the fillers from Nicaragua. Price point is $11, and the cigar was released in August of 2022. So with all that out of the way, John, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
So this is one of those strange cigars that's sort of a tale of two cigars, as it were. So I'll talk about the flavor profile first. I enjoyed the flavor profile that was delivered. Kind of started out with sort of creamy baking spices, just kind of a clean, what I call like a tobacco note. Hay and wood combination on the finish. Then kind of settled in to sort of tannic wood, baking spices, creaminess, a little bit of chocolate here and there, and some marshmallow. And I was like, you know what, that's not a bad first third. And then second third, drop the marshmallow, so more of creamy baking spices, wood, with a little bit of bitter hay. And I'm like, again, still pretty good. Last third, I think, was a little too wood forward for me. With the tannic wood kind of overpowered the graham cracker. And then with the hay, adding that dryness, it's just it's not a it's a fine profile, but it becomes a little bit of a chore to smoke. The downside is that I had just an abysmal burn. And I have to like double check my notes here because like sometimes I look at sort of my smoking pace and I'm like, if it goes out in the second third, I'm like, am I smoking too slow? But this so unfortunately for me, the cigar went out spontaneously in the first third, so I had to relight it, and that's not a good sign. Went out in the second third, record a second relight. And at that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I actually almost tripled my puff rate. And like 5 minutes after I did that, I went out a third time, and
Mm,
I was like, oof. And then I noticed in the last third, the wrapper, like when you see, it's kind of burning under the wrapper, and the wrapper's crinkling.
yeah,
So it was really struggling to combust. So I had to do a touch up. So it's weird because typically, if you have three relights and a touch up, uh, you're gonna have a flavor profile performance impact. So I was like, man, if it smokes that good, and I had that many touch ups and relights, I really wonder what like a consistently burning cigar would smoke like. So
yeah,
I enjoyed myself, and I'm also kind of looking forward to trying it again to see if I can get one that burns consistently because who knows?
yeah.
Anyways, what was your experience like?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with cedar and then a cinnamon forward baking spice. I got some chalkiness that joined in a bit later, and then second third saw the cedar gain a toast note. Final third saw the chalkiness depart and a vegetal note joined in as the cigar was starting to warm up. I thought the cigar had a pretty basic flavor profile throughout. I mean, it was pretty mellow, had a medium strength for most of the cigar. While it's not a profile that I would come back to all that often, I could see it doing really well with smokers that enjoy like kind of that mellow kind of smoking experience because I mean, the cigar performed well for me. The little wavy burn, slightly tight draw, but anything that was, really needed any attention or anything like that. But, um, price point's also really attractive at $11 for Toros. So, but it's just
Yeah.
not something that really wowed me and that would make me want to like, really come back to it. So, I'm interested in seeing, other offerings that they come out with, but for me, this just wasn't really a big deal. So, getting the scores, you gave it a 6.32. I gave it a 5.5. How'd that 6.32 match up for you?
Yeah, so this is one of those rare examples where I'd say I feel like this cigar, flavor profile wise, is kind of up in the 6.5, 6.6s, and it's really the burn that held it back. So again, Really curious how, maybe the flavor performance wouldn't be as good if they burn better. I don't know. But I definitely want to come back to it. The price point's attractive at $11. It puts it well under the sort of industry average for 2023. So yeah, scores a little on the low side for me. What about you?
Yeah, my 5.5 matches it well. I mean, I had an average flavor profile throughout. Very good construction though, so that kind of helps it out a little bit. But yeah, just not if I was hanging out with people and just kind of smoking, not really paying attention to it, this would be
Mm.
kind of the cigar that would kind of fit that bill. Because it's not, nothing off-putting. It's, it's pleasant, it's mellow. Kind of performed well for me. So, but yeah, it's not something I want to sit down with to really focus on. And I think kind of for me. Any final thoughts from you on this one?
Yeah, definitely want to check out some more cigars from the brand. See what else they've got, see what other sizes they've got. Yeah, be fun new brand to explore for us.
Yeah, so interesting. These guys are from
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin or Green
Yeah.
Bay, yeah. And so everything is
Go
supposed to have something
Packers.
to do kind of with the Green Bay area and things like that. So it's an
Yeah, it was
interesting
I was
brand, and I'll be interested
uh,
to meet with them at PCA.
yeah, it seemed like it was after I'd done my review, I was like the name is kind of weird to me. I'm like, where does that come from? Because like
Yeah,
that's such an oddball naming convention for the industry. And it sounds like it's a turn of the century brand that they've sort of revived.
yeah,
So I was like, oh man, well that totally makes sense if you're putting out a cigar in like 1905, and I guess it's from Wisconsin. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, well that's kind of a cool story, and I look forward to having a chat with them at the PCA and kind of hearing it from their mouths.
exactly. All right, wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. You can follow us on all the social media channels and catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Aaron Rodgers.